All right, good morning. We are live. Few technical difficulties, but it's time to check in. Where's the roll call? This is the roll call. All the praisers, leaders, those that are prepared. Come on, let's go. This is the roll call. All right, I see you coming in. Good morning. Good morning. We're getting there. Good morning. Come on. This is that point, that juncture when we turn the corner. We're at a huge junction. We're turning the corner. All right, come on in. There you are. I see you. Everybody's ready this morning. That's good. Don't forget to remind people, join us, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure you have your notifications on. You all are getting used to it now. I see you. I see you. Michelle Blackston, bless you. Bless you. Prophetess Ruth Gardner from Atlanta, Georgia. Good morning, my dear. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're moving and we're shaking. Come on, there you go. I see you all are loading in. You're ready. 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 That's it. Come on in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, sons and daughters. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to the people of God. Good morning to the remnant that yet remains. There is a remnant that yet remains. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. As you're coming in, you're looking good. You're looking good. You're looking good. Come on, let's go. There's a remnant. This is why we have to hold fast to the horns of the altar, the place of sanctuary, because God is going to do some suddenly things. Bless you. Bless you. Who is that? Mama Nick? Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. All right, Mama Nick. I think I got it right. That's Mama Nick. All right, Mama Nick. We're glad to have you on this morning. Bless you. Bless you. Raymond Lofton. I see you, son. Okay. Bless you. All right, we're going to do this 30 seconds. Come on and get it in 30 seconds. Then we're going to the word of God. We're in a major shift. So you're going to have to listen to the prophetic implications that will be passed down to you, that will be forwarded to you, for it certainly will propel you into this next season and time. This is an important move that we are in. So you have to listen to the prophetic instructions. Good morning. Good morning. I see you. You all have to invite some people. Don't be so stingy. Don't be so spoiled. Invite some people. Invite people to come and be a part of what you are embracing and what you are sensing and what you are feeling and what you are mentally being strengthened by. Your psyche is being built, your spirit, your soul is being recharged. And so this is the kickstand today for September. The prophets are already prophesying, some of them false, prophesying on social media what's going to happen and how good it's going to be. All right, well, listen, I'm telling you, we have a word from the Lord. We have a word from the Lord. All right, we're going to give it. Here it is, 30 seconds. Here's the countdown. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And we've got a ways to go. 30 seconds. We're somewhere at 20, almost 15. All right. I'm seeing just about everybody on now. I'm seeing just about everyone on. All right, here we go. Listen, it is imperative. It's imperative It's imperative. Good morning. Good morning to the Lord's people. Good morning to a remnant of God's people, his called, chosen, hand selected people. Good morning to you. You are the remnant that yet remains. We are thankful for you. We are thankful for all that God has done, is doing. It's a blessing to be in the land of the living. Thank God for being in the land of the living, for it is certain, death is certain. And we would like to take the time to acknowledge that one of the greatest mothers in the church today turned 99 years old some months ago. And as of September 1st, she at 7:33, her granddaughter, I am very close to that family, called me and let me know that she had passed on to be with the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. No pain, no few ailments here and there, but Mother Lena Langston has passed on, a triumphant saint, grandmother, grandmother, great grandmother, great grandmother. And I was a son to her. Years ago, she was a mother that nurtured me when I was in my 20s, beginning in ministry, not even wet behind my ears. And when the pastor would leave town, she was one of the mothers that stuck close by me, a young man, and supported me and strengthened me, prayed for me with some of the other mothers that were in that church. And she has outlived so many. She outlived some of her children, her grandchildren, and she has seen a lot in her day. I thought that she was going to make it to 100, but she was just getting a little ill along the way. As you know, the body can't take but so much more when our time is up. So we'll be hearing of that soon when the homegoing will be. And we definitely will be there. So that's a time of celebration. That's not anything sad. That's just letting us know we'll miss her. I'll miss her words. I'll miss her phone calls. She was one who kept this young man encouraged. So I thank God for her. Always kept me encouraged. All right, into the word of the Lord. I'm going to use the passage in the book of Isaiah, the book of Isaiah 37, chapter 37, verse 1. Let's turn there. Isaiah 37 and 1. I'm going to do everything I can do in my power. I'm trying to sit here. The end of the month, I'm going to be doing some preaching. I'll be probably preaching 4 days straight. I feel like revival. I feel preaching. I feel preachy. I feel real preachy. I'm coming out of this situation I've been in for some time, and I'm glad about it. But I feel preachy this morning. So if I do, just understand that's where I am. But there is a revelation and there is information and education that is in this text that we need to gain that will give us insight into where we presently are. So Isaiah 37 and 1, we're going to use the first 4 verses, Isaiah 37, 1 through 4. And it came to pass, I believe I have it up here, thank God. And it came to pass when when King Hezekiah heard it, that he rent his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth, went into the house of the Lord. And he sent Eliakim, who was over the household, and Shebna the scribe, and the elders of the priests covered with sackcloth unto Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos. And they said unto him, Thus saith Hezekiah, this day is a day of trouble and of rebuke and of blasphemy. For the children are come to birth, and there is not strength to bring forth. That's where I'm going to take my text from right there. This is a day of trouble and of rebuke, and of blasphemy. For the children are come to birth, and there is not strength to bring forth. Verse 4, it may be the Lord thy God will hear the words of Rabshakeh, whom the king of Assyria, his master, has sent to reproach the living God, and will reprove the words which the Lord thy God hath heard. Wherefore lift up thy prayer for, Lord, help us, help us, help us, help me with this text today now. Don't let me lose it. Pray for the remnant that is left. Lord, help us. My God, my God. Pray for the remnant. Who is it that's there? Somebody is listening to me today. Pray for the remnant. That's what this text is all about. That is left. When we look at the book of Isaiah, many scholars and theologians think of Isaiah or call him or define him as the evangelical prophet. He is the only prophet who mentions the Messiah in great numbers like he does, as many times as he does. He frequently prophesies of Jesus Christ coming as the Messiah to the people, as a hope to the nation of Israel. Prophetically, we have to see him on the grid. For those who don't have that book, The Theology of the Prophets, you need to make sure you get it, because in it, it is loaded with information that tells you the position of Isaiah scripturally. It lets us know that Isaiah is a prophet who prophesied toward the end of, in the division of the kingdom, which you had in the north. Israel was in Samaria, and you had Judah in the south with Jerusalem. When the kingdom was divided under Solomon, and Jeroboam took 10 of the tribes that was in the north, and his son, Solomon's son, Rehoboam, took the tribes, the two that were left in the south. And in the north, there was such the king there, Jeroboam, established idolatry in such a facetious way, until other nations would look at them and say, my God, they really worse than us. Pretty much like Paul says in 1 Corinthians 5, he says, you are committing sins that are worse than the Gentiles. This is how Hezekiah saw, this is how Israel saw the deterioration of the nation of Israel. And so in the north, there were prophets that came to prophesy to them, namely to Hosea, and his job was to speak of the marital relationship, even as he married Gomer, which was a prostitute, and her mother, Delib. We understand who they were and what they did. They were all about prosperity and prostitution working together in the house of the Lord. And so we could see how God blessed them, prospered them, but he kept calling them. And frequently there is a statement that there is spoken, which is return unto me, return unto me. And then Amos comes, and a prophet out of nowhere, not out of the school of the prophets, just out of nowhere, on the backside of the mountain of Tekoa. He's a shepherd that God calls and tells him, you go and prophesy to the kings and tell them that they need to return, get the nation to return to me. But they would not. And because of that, the greatest powerhouse of soldiers and of army that was on the planet at that time was the Assyrian nation. And the Assyrian nation were responsible for doing some real hideous killing. They would take your head off, and they would remove the head and sever your head and put it on a stick and put it on your front yard. These were some very, very ill people, ill-treated people, people who had ill treatment. And so when they looked at Israel, God raised up Assyria, the powerhouse, and told them, "Go, I'm gonna release you, go up there." And they annihilated the north. They annihilated the north to such a tendency, into such a place, and that there was none left. There were no people that were left. Most of those who were left, and the generations who were left of the Jews that were in the north, they were raped and they became Mongoloids. They were half Jews. This is why when Jesus eventually comes along, and the disciples said, "Why are you going through Smyrna?" Jews and Israel, the Jews and the Samaritans really don't have any dealings. And the reason why was because a Jew was considered a pure Jew. And with the Samaritans, they were mixed, they were Mongoloids. And so they were not people who got along together. But the reason for that, they were wiped out because of their disobedience, because of their lack of ability to hear from God. God let the north be wiped out. There was a complete annihilation to this extent that there were no people that were pure Jews that were left. They were all raped by the Assyrians. The Assyrians hired other people to come in, rape the nation, take the pure blood out of them, destroy the men, and then take over the region. And that's what they did. Now, 3 years after that, this is where the text comes in. Isaiah then is prophesying to Israel and Judah. That's a part of his job. He's saying that this is going to come. And even as it comes, there'll be some that can escape the hand of the hand of death that's coming. There was a king who was vicious. His name was Sennacherib. He had an assistant. He had another leader who worked with him. He was a captain of the army named Rabshakeh. And these two worked together to annihilate all the nations that were yet present. All the nations. So they were the powerhouse of the earth. They were the powerhouse. There was nobody. They had power over Egypt, power over Ethiopia, power over the powerful kings and nations that were on the earth. And what they did was then, 3 years after the annihilation in the north, 722, about 725, 26, now they come to the gate of Judah. This is Jerusalem. This is where the text brings us to now. And so they come to confront the king of Israel, Hezekiah. Hezekiah is now the king of Israel. There are two writings, two stories about this. One in Isaiah that he brings it up. It is a historical, the only historical teaching that Isaiah really brings up about a particular king and a story. And then it is in 2 Kings in the 18th chapter, 19th chapter, and 20th chapters. So Isaiah 36, 37, and 38, and then 2 Kings 18, 2 Kings, 2 Kings 18, 19, and 20. So if we look at 2 Kings gives us somewhat of a background of what things look like and who Hezekiah was. What we begin to delineate is that Hezekiah's father before him became corrupt. And the thing about it, he's kind of sandwiched in the middle of a crisis. He becomes a great king, but his son after him, Manasseh, becomes one of the worst kings of Israel, to lead people back into idolatry. Not only that, and the other perversive works of prostitution, Baalism, Ashtaroth, but he also, I'm talking about Manasseh, he also calls for his children and other people's children to walk through the fire. That means they offered their children to other gods because they were so invoking and so in partnership with these evil gods of the day. Now, when we look at this text again, notice this. He says in 2 Kings 18, now it came to pass in the 3rd year of Hoshea, son of Elah, king of Israel, that Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Judah, began to reign. 25 years old was he when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was also Abi, the daughter of Zechariah. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that David, his father, did. Notice this verse 4 now. Listen to what is being said, and then we'll define it. He removed the high places and break down images and cut down the groves and break into pieces the brazen serpent that Moses had made. For unto those days the children of Israel did burn incense to it and called it Nehushtan. He trusted in the Lord God of Israel, so that after him was none like among all the kings of Judah, nor that were before him. For he clave unto the Lord. That means he got close to him. He was glued to him and departed not from following him, but kept his commandments, which the Lord God had commanded Moses. And the Lord was with him, and he prospered wherever he went forth. And he rebelled against the king of Assyria and served him not. And because he broke down the high places, this king of Sennacherib came back to say, oh, if he can tear down the high places that have been built by his own father, then I'm going to make him retract his statement. He came as a bully to make him retract his statement on his belief, what he believed. And he stood and he removed the high places. He stood and removed the demonic interludes and tones that were set. The tenor of Israel was based on corruption. He brought down the corruption. He brought new leadership in, a new administration. And because of that, now the Rabshakeh, he comes to tell them to make an announcement. What you should do is just give up your rights. And before in the past, the book of Isaiah tells us that he paid them off. Y'all listen to me now. Hezekiah paid off Sennacherib and the Assyrians. We don't want them coming down here. We don't want them to disrupt, and destroy the holy city. Don't touch it. So I'm going to pay them off. Watch this. I'm going to stop here. Now, this is where we have to stop in the court, and we've got to make it. We got to come to the side and have a deliberation. We need to understand, whenever you start paying an enemy off, or you allow people to blackmail you, eventually you will never stop paying them. So I want to say this to you: in a time of blessing that is before you, whatever it is that you need to clean it up. Make it clear to those wherever you've been, whatever you've done, make it clear so nobody can come and speak on your behalf and say this is what you did or that's what you did. You already know what happened. God has already forgiven you and released you. God has already redeemed you. God has already revived you. God has already saturated you with the Holy Ghost on another level. Why are you bringing up that which was a part of my past? My fear made me submit to the bride. Y'all ain't talking now. The fear made me, the anxiety of the time made me, come on here, submit to the bride. But this is not going to, it's not going to work not another day. Come on, somebody. It's not going to not work another day. So Sennacherib, the Assyrians are now surrounding Jerusalem. Historicity tells us that they begin to surround the 12 gates of the city, waiting at one particular gate for Elkanah, the man who held the key of administration to the gates. Gates were locked and the people were inside, and no one could break down the rights, the doors, the gates to the holy city. But they were getting close and ready to take it over. And here comes the Rabshakeh. He begins to say here, beware lest Hezekiah persuade you, saying that the Lord will deliver us. Hath any of the gods of the nations delivered his hand out of the hand of the king of Assyria? He's saying that Sennacherib and the Assyrians are the most powerful bad boys on the planet. You tell me what king has been able to escape their grip, their demonic grip. Who can get out of this now? Verse 19 of chapter 36. Where are the gods of Hamath and of Arpad? Where are the gods of Seraphim? And have any delivered Samaria out of my hand? He said, I have Samaria. I've destroyed the kingdom of Israel and the 10 tribes. I've wiped them out. Saints, what are we looking at here? Watch it now. Let's look at the text. He tells in verse 20, who are they among all the gods of these lands that have delivered their land out of my hand, that the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand? Listen to the power. Listen to the incitement, the indictment against the hand of God. He's speaking against God. He's literally saying, if God has so-called brought you this far, this is as far as you will go. Come on, I'm talking to somebody. And the way that some of us live and the way that some of us entreat God, we have fallen into the paralyzing fear of Sennacherib and the Assyrians. Lord have mercy. If none of the other nations escape, if their gods could not deliver them, what makes you think you can get out of my grasp? Now, what I want you to do is what all nations would have done then. Rather than have a war, we don't have to have a war. Turn over the keys. Lord have mercy. Turn over your keys, give them to me, and allow me to come in and usurp authority. And here's what I'll do. I'll take you away from this land and I'll give you another land. Read the story. I'll give you a land that has all the things that you desire to have. Lord have mercy. My God, help us. And look at verse 21. Listen, he says, but they held, listen, but they held their peace and answered him not a word. For the king's commandment was saying, answer him not. When we are in a crisis like this, when we are faced with a day of trouble, rebuke, and blasphemy, disrespect of the enemy like this, it is not our place to answer. Maybe in the past, when we had the numbers, we could do that. But where we are now, we cannot afford to engage in a war. It's too many of them for us. The writer of the Psalm 20 makes it very clear. Some trust in chariots, some trust in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord. Who will bring me through this crisis now? I trust in God. I'm not turning over my keys. Lord have mercy. To the will of the enemy. I'm not turning over my soul yet. I'm not finished here yet. The God that I know that answers by fire, that speaks on the mountaintops, that shakes Mount Sinai. That's the God that I trust in. He's never failed me yet. He's never failed me yet. And don't answer. Don't tap out. Tap out. I'm tapping out. I'm not going to fight with you this time. I'm not going to allow wherever the triggers are that you normally could affect me. No more. I won't let you discover my triggers. I'm not. Lord, send revival to this nation. Send revival. Send a real revival. A revival that causes us to get naked before you. A revival that causes us to pierce the darkness that seems to overtake us and is crowding our thinking and our minds. Something has come to make us feel that we are alone and we're out of the loop. But God says, no, I've got you covered. I've got you covered, and I'm getting ready to do something that you have not seen done. I don't know who it is. It's got to be somebody on here is saying, man, I'm at my wit's end. Listen, Dr. Ken, I'm at my wit's end, man. Listen, I'm struggling, man. I'm with my marriage, my family, my children are driving me to the wall. The job, the supervisor, the manager. I've got all of these things around me, my God, and the pressure of what I'm dealing with. I'm feeling pressure, man, and this thing that I'm carrying, it may be lost. I feel on the inside, if there is no relief, oh God, help me here. If there is no relief in the days that are coming, I can't continue to carry this the way that I have carried. Who am I talking to? Put an emoji on there to wave your hand and say, he talking to me. I need to see it. Put your hand on there and say, he's talking to me. Somebody that is a warrior for God. Somebody that knows how to put on the armor of God. Somebody that knows how to wait on the wall of prayer and wail and watch. Come on here for God to come through. Well, the enemy, we can look down off of the wall and see that the enemy has penetrated us. Lord, help me here. The enemy has penetrated my mind, my thoughts, my will. There are things that are coming, Apostle. I'm trying to get a grip on my mind and on my thoughts, and sometimes I'm riding down the road and forget where I'm going. Y'all ain't saying nothing. You don't want to talk to me. I'm dealing with the effects of sickness and illness and disease that is in the land, and I feel like this might be my last stand. Y'all ain't talking to me. I need somebody that's real. I need a screamer on here now. Somebody should have been screaming in their house when you got to that part. I don't know how long I can resist the hand of Sennacherib and the hand of the Assyrians. They're powerful people, and I cannot deny their power. They're pressing in on the gate of my mind. They're pressing in on the gate of my heart. Y'all have mercy. They're pressing in on my will, and I'm about to break. I'm about to subjugate myself to something, come on here, that would be against the knowledge of God, against the will of God. But he said, answer them not. Lord, have mercy. Help me. Help me here. Help me, God. Help me. Answer them not. What did Nehemiah say? I'm not coming down off the wall to come into, oh no, to deal with you rascals. I'm not coming down here to deal with you monkey poxes. I'm not coming down to deal with you giraffe poxes. I'm not coming down to dealing with anything that deals with a beast and an animal. I cannot. And it's not that you cannot win. It's not that you cannot overcome. It is not that you cannot have a fight, but you're just having a fight. What is the strategy? The strategy is to take the few that are left, God must say, the residue that yet stands, and bring them into the birthing canal to reproduce for the next generation. Are you hearing me? Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Help me. And so when we arrive at the text here in Isaiah 37, here's what it brings to light now. When it comes to light, he's telling us, listen, they have, when Hezekiah hears it, he calls for counsel. He brings the administration together and said, now go to the prophet. We need to hear from a prophet, a legitimate prophet in the land. What do we do next? The ears of the prophets are ready to hear. There are some of you that have not been heard. There are some of you that cannot that seem like you have been lost somewhere, that people that have just forgotten about you. No, you are hidden right in public. Lord have mercy. You are the savior of a situation, but you're hidden right in public. You need to understand that your time is arising. And when your time is arising, things get way more chaotic than ever before. You have to accept that. Things have become crazy. Things have become chaotic. Things are untoward. Things are backfiring. Things are happening in such a way to make you feel like God is not there. That's why forces like the rapture came. That's why they come like they do. That's why they talk big like they do. But this is a time, as I'm sending a message to you now. Don't answer them. I'm telling you, the people who are on your job, don't answer them. Don't put it on the screen. Don't answer them. Put it on the screen. Don't. And your warfare is don't answer them. I see it coming on the screen. Put it on the screen. Don't answer. If you don't get nothing else today, come on here. Don't answer them. Don't answer them. Your history has taught you God always comes through. Don't answer them. When we arrive at the text now, in chapter 37, here Hezekiah begins to disrobe himself, get into sackcloth and ashes. The enemy is right outside my door. Lord have mercy. Hasn't come in the house, but he's pervading right outside my door. It's time to pray. This is the 9th month. This is the month of some of the most sacred Jewish festivals that there is biblically. Rosh Hashanah, which is the last Sunday of the month in September. Rosh Hashanah represents the new year. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. Rosh, head, Rosh Hashanah, of the year, head of the year. The new year for those who are in Judaic Christian worship of Jesus Christ. When I say Judaic, I'm saying we have the Jewish teachings. The Jewish lifestyle is a foundation. It doesn't rule things because Christ came to not destroy the law and the prophets, but to fulfill it. And so what he did was he brought it all together and combined it, the Jewish works, along with what he brought to break and silence the law, so the law wouldn't have power over us like it, Lord have mercy, like it did have. And so Christ came to free us and to deliver us. Rosh Hashanah. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. It is a time, September is a time of birthing. And so when we look at the text, the Bible tells us in 37:3, I'm not going to be much longer. It says, and they said unto him, listen, they said unto him, thus saith Hezekiah. Hezekiah said, this is a day of trouble. Not only trouble, come on. I'm going to preach you through this. And of rebuke and of blasphemy. For the children are come to birth, and there is not strength to bring forth. The children are ready to come forth. It's time. Are you hearing me? The water has broken. When the water, a pregnant woman, when her water breaks, it is a simulation of saying the water has now released what the sack of what was holding the baby can no longer hold anymore. And we've got to get this woman into delivery, because the water that surrounded the baby is broken so that the baby can be free to come through the birth canal. Y'all not talking to me. The water has, I dare you, if you look down where you're sitting, you'll see water beneath you. Good God Almighty, Jesus. Out of your belly shall flow rivers. Oh, Shabbat, God, birth it, birth it, birth it, of living water, living water, living, a reservoir, a river, a flow. Come on, there, come on. Isaiah, Ezekiel 47. There's a river in the sanctuary. There is a restoration. There is a revival. There is a rebirthing. There is a regeneration. Ah, God have mercy. Come on here. There is a redemption. There is a restoration that is coming. There's a recalibration that is coming to the house of the living God. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? Yes, the children have come to birth, but there is no strength to bring forth. Why? Because our enemies that we once had power over have now come to suppress us. They have come to depress us. They have come to possess us. They have come to overtake us, to overwhelm us, to overcome us. They have come to take us off guard. Lord have mercy. But Hezekiah went into sackcloth and ashes with Eliakim and Shebna. And the prophet comes back and he says to them and says, this is a day of trouble and rebuke and blasphemy. The children are come to birth, that there's no strength to bring forth. Listen, once the water breaks, if we don't get that baby out of there, come on, somebody, the baby and the mother, Lord, help me here, help me, come on here, are going to die. We are in a critical place in God right now. Lord have mercy. If we don't deliver this time, we're going to die. God, if you don't come through for me this time, I'm desperate for a breakthrough. I'm desperate for divine intervention. I'm desperate for your will to be done. God, I need you. God, you have to come through. Lord, you have to come through. And Hezekiah, he begins to say these words. Look at verse 4. He says, it may be that the Lord thy God will hear your words of Rabshakeh, whom the king of Assyria, his master, has sent to reproach the living God, and will reprove the works which the Lord thy God hath heard. Wherefore, lift up thy prayer for the remnant that is left. Who is it that is left that can pray for the remnant, that can intercede for the remnant, that can get on the wall and war for the remnant? There, as you read the text, there were men who were on the wall. They told them, you might as well come off the wall because it's over. There is no consultation that you could have with your God where your God can reverse my power. Lord have mercy. And here are the words that now Isaiah speaks to Hezekiah. So the servants of the king of Hezekiah came to Isaiah, verse 6 and of 37. And Isaiah said unto them, thus shall ye say unto your master, thus saith the Lord, be not afraid of the words that thou hast heard. Number one, don't be afraid of what they're saying. Don't be afraid of what has captivated your mind. Don't be afraid of the imaginations and the shift in imagery in your mind and in your will and in your body. Listen, be not afraid of their words which thou hast heard, wherewith the servants of the king of Assyria have blasphemed me. Oh, watch it now. See, so that means that God says, I already heard what they said about me. You don't have to defend me. Listen, You don't have to defend me. I ain't got time to answer that. He said, oh, I heard what they said, and I heard what they said about me. Not only you, but I heard with my prized possession, but I heard what they said about me. He says, behold, I will send a blast. That means a plague. It means a plague. I'm going to send a plague upon him, and he shall hear a rumor and return to his own land. And I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. So Rabshakeh returned and found the king of Assyria warring against Libnah, for he had heard that he was departed from Lachish. And he heard say concerning Tirhakai, here Tirhakai, king of Ethiopia, he is come forth to make war with thee. And when he heard it, he sent messengers to Hezekiah, saying, thus shall ye speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, saying, let not thy God, in whom thou trustest, deceive thee, saying, Jerusalem shall not be given into the hand of Assyria. In other words, whatever God, this is what he's saying, whatever God has told you, don't be deceived. God lied to you. That's what he's saying. God told you a lie. I've destroyed watch it. I've destroyed the other nations, and I'm going to destroy you too. I've destroyed people in your family. I've destroyed people in your generation. I've destroyed people in your era. I've taken people out of here with all kind of diseases and sicknesses, and I'll do the same with you. God have mercy. And I'll do the same with you. Trust me, I'm going to do the same thing with you. And he says to him, he says, listen, he said, and when he heard it, he sent messengers to Hezekiah saying, thus shall ye speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, saying, let not thy God in whom thou trustest deceive thee, saying, Jerusalem shall not be given into the hand of Assyria. Behold, thou hast heard what the kings of Assyria have done to all the lands by destroying them utterly. And shall thou be delivered? He said, I destroyed the north. I've destroyed Samaria. I walked all over top of them. I've raped your men. I've just killed your men and raped your women. Your bloodline is diseased and crossed. He says, you've heard all these things. Have the gods of the nations delivered them, which my fathers have destroyed, as Gozan, Haran, and Rezep, and the children of Eden, which are in Telazar? Where is the king of Hamath, and the king of Arpad, and the king of the city of Septarium, Hena, and Iviv? And Hezekiah received the letter. Hezekiah received the letter from the hand of the messengers. And number one, he read it. And Hezekiah, number two, went up to the house of the Lord. Come on here. Number three, he spread it. He read it. He went to the house of the Lord, and then he spread it out before him. Whatever the enemy, I got to get ready to leave here in a minute now. Whatever the enemy has said and whatever they have done and whatever they have presumed, we're going to take it before God now. Because some things are going to be cleared out before October comes in here. The miraculous is being released right now as I speak. What you are up against and what you have been through, every individual, come on here, that I've heard of and prayed for, every one of them, none of them have died, have been through surgeries and sickness, including myself, and we have all come out with a clear record. I need a praiser right there. I need a praiser right there. We have all come out with a clear record. What should have come to destroy us, to disrupt us, to annihilate us? God has, y'all ain't saying nothing. God has held us by his hand. Help me here. Help me. I'm almost finished. Listen to what he says. He says, and Hezekiah prayed unto the Lord. Listen to what he says. He's praised this prayer to the Lord to say, Lord, we need you to do these things. Look at what he's saying. O Lord of hosts, God of Israel, that dwelleth between the cherubims, thou art God, even thou alone of all the kingdoms of the earth. Thou hast made heaven and earth. Incline thy ear, O Lord, and hear. Open your eyes, because it looked like you're not seeing. Lord have mercy. Hear what I'm saying. See what's going on, O Lord, and see, and hear all the words of Sennacherib, my enemy, which have sent to the reproach the living God. They're coming against your name. Of a truth, Lord, the kings of Assyria have laid waste all the laid waste all the nations of their countries, and have cast their gods into the fire. For they were no gods, but the work of men's hands, wood and stone. Therefore, they have destroyed them. Now, therefore, O Lord, our God, save us. Come on, here's your prayer. This is your prayer for the week. Come on here. Pray this prayer. Don't recreate the week. Pray this prayer. Deliver us. My God, have mercy. Save us from his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that thou art the Lord, even thou only. There's only one God. If there was ever a time now that we need an intervention, God, we need you to see it, because there's only a remnant left. Lord, have mercy. There's only a few that are left. Save the remnant. Notice that the scripture says this in chapter 37. It says 37 and 31. And the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall again take root downward and bear fruit upward. It didn't say everybody, but it said the remnant that is left. Y'all ain't talking. Come on here. The remnant that is left shall take that has escaped of the house of Judah shall again take root downward. Your roots are getting ready to go back down again, and then bear fruit upwards. Your roots, come on here. Your roots are going down again. And your fruit is coming upwards. Your prosperity is about to show. See, you're underground, and people can't see you underground. They can't see what God is doing. They can't hear what you're saying. They don't know what's going on. They don't know how God is preparing you. That's why they can't see you. You are hidden in the dirt. Y'all ain't talking. You are hidden in the humus. Lord have mercy. But the being is about to be exalted. Come on here. The being is about to ascend. The being is about to accentuate its power within you. I'm almost finished now. Look at verse 32 of chapter 37. For out of Jerusalem, come on here, for out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they shall escape out of the mount of Zion. The zeal of the Lord of the hosts shall do this. God, in other words, he's going to do what he said do. If the enemy ain't got you now, it ain't going to work. No matter how many forces of witchcraft are working, don't answer. Don't matter about the witch and the warlock, don't answer. I say it as the general, as a commander. Stay on higher ground. Stay on the wall. We will not answer foolishness in this season. The only reason that a baby warlock starts showing up is because they think that they think they can intimidate you against the past. But it was the past that destroyed them. Let them keep talking, because eventually what's going to happen is they're going to hear a rumor, because they're prone to gossip. They're going to hear a rumor because they're prone to word traffic. They're going to hear a rumor, and a lying spirit in the atmosphere is going to drive them back to a place where people who they think are their friends are going to take them out. Take your hands off of it. Take your hands off of it. Take your hands off of it and let God have this. Come on, somebody. Let God have this. Notice in verse 36 of chapter 37. I'm almost there. 36 of 37. Listen to what it says. It says, then the angel of the Lord, he says, no, I'm sorry, verse 35. For I will defend this city, God said, to save it for my own sake, and for my servant David's sake. I'm talking about Philadelphia. We're changing our strategies. God gonna save Philadelphia. I'm talking about Chicago. I'm talking about Illinois. I'm talking about Indiana. God is going to save it. I'm talking about Florida. I'm talking about Atlanta. I'm talking about Dallas. I'm talking about Austin. I'm talking about Texas. I'm talking about Houston. I don't care how much corruption is going on. God told me to tell you he's going to save the city for his own sake. Then the angel of the Lord went forth and smote in the camp of the Assyrians. Listen, 104,500. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. I'm trying to tell you your strategy right there. Your strategy, Lord have mercy. Your strategy has just changed. Your strategy is no longer to speak. Your strategy is to stand, come on here, between the porch and the altar. Come on here, men and women of God, and pray. Come on here for the remnant that's left. Those that are paralyzed with fear, those who are just overtaken with anxiety in the moment. It is a lot to handle. But there's a few of us that are left. Come on here. That God said, I'm going to take you down in your roots. That's why it's feeling like it feels. It feels like you're suffocating and you're suppressed of the enemy. But no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's just your roots are breaking open deeper ground, and you're going deeper to sustain you for the height that God is going to take you in your season of 2023. It's a season. Notice I didn't say a year. You need to realize, come on here, listen to this. The text is telling us, he said, when they rose up in the morning, the armies were dead. Listen, so Sennacherib, king of Assyria, with his big mouth, he departed and went and returned and dwelt in Nineveh. And it came to pass as he was worshiping in the house of Neshrosh, his god, that Aramandelech and Shezlar, his sons, smote him with the sword. And they escaped into the land of Armenia, and Esarhaddon, his son, reigned in his stead. I tell you, the enemy is going down. God said, don't worry about nothing. You don't have to worry. All you need to know is I'm engaged. God is letting us know this one, no. This will not take an arrow. This one won't take a weapon. I'm going to defend my holy city. I'm going to defend. I know that it's only a few of you that are left. There's only a few that are holding on. There's only a few who are holding the standard. There are only a few who are remaining holy, who are still walking with God. He said, but I'm going to take that few and I'm going to bring them I'm going to destroy Sennacherib. I'm going to destroy I'm going to shut the mouth of the Rabshakeh, of the gainsayers. I'm going to give you a mouth and a wisdom that the enemy won't even understand. I'm going to cause you, when you open up your mouth, to no longer stutter, to no longer have a lisp. I'm going to cause you to speak clarity until the nations know and have heard that you have stood for me and for my voice. So here's what we need to understand. This is a day of trouble, a day of rebuke. Come on here. A day of blasphemy, a day of disrespect. You can look at the day and see what it is. But even within the day, God would have me to close and tell you this morning that the babies are coming. Lord have mercy. I declare unto you, the water has broken on the 4th of September. And I declare unto you that babies are coming prophetically. Hear it. They are coming. Come on here. And those that are coming, they're going to be healthy and they're going to be strong. I'm talking about in the spirit and in the natural. They're going to be healthy. They're going to be strong. They are going to be the next generation, come on here, that are going to be able to withstand the pressure of the enemy. But what the enemy has sought to do was take the holy city. But because you don't have the strength to do it no more, God said, all I want you to do now is push through it. And as you push through it, I'm going to begin to heal. I'm going to begin to mend. I'm going to begin to strengthen. I'm going to begin to prosper you. I'm going to begin to open up doors. I'm going to begin to open up gates. I'm going to begin to open up pathways that you have never seen or known of before, because I want you to understand the day is troublesome. The day is a day of disgrace, a day of blasphemy, a day for using God and taking his name in vain and using it out of character. And so, even though it is, God says, in this day I am moving. You can't see me, but when the witches and warlocks in the hour of 3 to 6 seek to pray and work against you, he said, I'm going to destroy and disrupt the frequency, the program, the channels, the frequencies. I'm shifting things, the stations in the realm of the spirit now, and I'm causing it now to remove from you. And if you could see it, the church then is backed into a place where the church can rest from the pressure of the enemy. God is going to allow you this month to birth visions and things and books and ideas and programs and things that have been held back from you because of the pressure you've been under, because of the weight that you've been under, because of the problematic time you've been in. It has been difficult for you to get the thing together in your mind. But God is saying now there's a release. As of this day, there's a release. Even your praise is changing. Your mind is changing. Your will is changing. Your hope is changing. Yes, it is. Things are shifting in your favor like you've never known before. You need to understand that God has you covered. God has you protected. God has you in under his wings. He's going to provide for you. He's going to make a way for you. He's going to guide you through this critical time. My God, I thank you. He's going to heal your body. I command the things that have been holding its head over your life. I command now, God, that God begin to release it off of you. The weight off your head, the weight off of your heart. I command it now to be released so you can breathe again. I command you to breathe again and push. It's a troublesome day, but your baby is coming. It's a troublesome day, but your baby gonna be healed. It's a good God. It's a troublesome day, but your body's gonna be healed. You're coming out of the crisis. You're coming out of the trouble. You're coming out of the disrespect. You're coming out of the bitter waters. You're coming out of a troubled time and a season that has been unparalleled and unprecedented. But this is the time now that you shall see the enemy destroyed in front of your face. They came to take us out, but I heard Nahum say it like this: the affliction came once, but it will not come a second time. You need to understand that God has you covered now. Listen, your will, God, be done in us as it is in heaven. Lord, bring these babies forth. Let them come forth. Put a travail for the remnant down on the inside. It looks like only a few, so we don't have the strength to bring forth, but God is going to strengthen you. He's going to hide you in the secret place. He's going to hide you like he hid the woman in Revelation verse 12. And when the enemy began to speak fire out of his mouth, then the earth began to bring water out of its mouth to cover and protect the baby in the wilderness. You got to read it. Protect the baby in the wilderness, because the revival is not coming, it's here, baby. It's already here. There's a turning of the hearts of God's people back to him. There is a shift in the leadership that's in the earth. Y'all hearing there are new leaders that are rising up that will not, I'm talking to you, compromise, will not walk hand in hand with the devil, will not offer upon the high places, sleep with the prostitute whores, hang out with the prostitute pimps and prophets. God, do it today. Shift the winds now of revival until all the high places are dislocated, are disrupted. They are shifted in the name of Jesus. Send it into confusion. Confound the enemy now in the name of the Lord. I gotta stop, y'all. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. What looks like, I gotta stop. What it looks like, Lord, I thank you. What looks like it won't prevail in your favor. God is raising up enemies you don't know. He's raising up people you don't know to get his disrespect back, to get his respect back on his name. I keep hearing God say, put respect on my name. Put respect on my name. Put the respect that I deserve back on my name. Put the respect back on my name. Hey, listen, it's been great this morning. Go back and read 2 Kings 18, 19, 20. Go back and read. I got some more things I'm coming from there. I've got to go back into it. There's some things that I've got to speak out of that are going to be mind-blowing. But what the enemy thinks he's going to overtake, God's going to send him back home with his head between his shoulders and carried back through death. What the enemy seeks to destroy, it will not work against you. Now listen, this is the week, Thursday, September 8th. It is the beginning of the Prophets Institute. We will be discussing and teaching our 8-week curriculum on the institutionalization of the prophet. Now, there are going to be some things you're going to need. Make sure that you have this book with you, The Theology of the Prophets. When you come to attend the class, these are 2 books you're going to need for citing. The Theology of the Prophets you must have. And the other one is Seated in Heavenly Realms. There is information that is in there that God's been dealing with me about. You're going to need to have these 2 books. It'll be in your curriculum for the class. This is a college-built course, and it is powerful, and it is lengthy, and it's a lot of work. So you're going to have to put a lot of time in. There'll be graphs, and there's work and tests, a lot of work that has to be done. So I want you to come prepared and be ready. And moreover than that, I'm not going to create a system. I'm not going to be religious with this, fasting and praying. But I want many of you, if you're not doing it, get into intermittent fasting. Start fasting, start praying. Go 2 or 3 days with just water, 2 or 3 days with just fruit, 2 or 3 days with fruit juices. Some of those things you can do. Some of you will not be able to do the juices, but do the water and do some things sugar-free. Watch the sugar, but pray. I'm not going to set this thing up. We do all of this setting up. No, be individualistic. Be an individual. Work your fast incorporate it for yourself so that you know what you need and how you need it and what's best for you. You may be on medicine. You may certain things you have to need. I see diabetics being cured. I see people with high blood pressure being cured. It's a matter of the change of the diet, and that's a stronghold in the mind. Many of you are going to have to start moving. A body in motion keeps a body in motion. If you don't move, you're going to lose. You've got to move your body. These are part of the things that you need to do. Now, remember this. At the end of the month, September 24th, put it on your calendar. Put it on your calendar. If you're in the Institute, this will be a part of your curriculum, which will be released today. Prophetess Kenyon will be sending it out to you today. I sent it to her last night. You'll be receiving it today. When you get your curriculum, it'll show you everything that you need to do. You need to start reading. You need to start thinking. You need to start praying. You need to start putting things into perspective. Put your time element together. Some of you are already in school. You're going to be in another school, and then you're going to be with us. So it's important for you to put things in perspective. All right. So make sure that you also understand September 24th, the end of the month, there will be a service. We will be having prophetic classified instruction. Now, the course the day is 9 to 6. It's all day. It's all day. Maybe you won't be able to make some of the courses in the morning. There will be a registration. But September 24th, make sure you are there. You will be, we won't release the address right now, but it's in South Delaware. In South Delaware. Won't be releasing the address right now. We will be there and we will be loaded. Okay. We will be loaded all day long. Those who are coming all day long, we have sandwiches. There will be a lunch. Your registration will cover that. And again, if you're interested in hanging out with us for the day, if you're interested, please contact Prophetess Kenya. Go through her messenger. Contact Marie Elizabeth Kenyon. Go through her messenger, and then you can be able to make contact with her if you're going to participate in the it's called the Prophet's Pentacle. We're going to take the prophets to the highest point. We're going to be discussing things all day that are going to be powerful. We're going to talk about therapy and theology. There's a board, there's a panel that'll be there to discuss theology. We're not just going to have miracle signs and wonders, but we're going to do that. But the morning will consist of some powerful, consecrated people who will be coming to share with us what God is speaking in this hour. We're going to have a prophetic impartation. We're going to have deliverance. We're going to have all these things happening, and it will be in an area. No phones will be on. It will not be on Facebook. It will not be on social media. The leaders that are coming, we are not doing that. We're not trying to entertain the public to get followers. It's too much of this going on with these praise breaks. We're not doing that. We're not going to be showing things for people to make fun of it. So it really is. I had an opportunity over the weekend to see this movie, Hunk for Jesus. What a detestable mess. But it depicts, ladies and gentlemen, what the church has allowed the world into to look what our closet looks like with skeletons. You allowed them to come in and be a part of us. So now they've already got the mixture. They already know what it looks like, and they played it until a depressive end. Maybe you need to go see it or stream it or whatever. I don't think it's going to be out another week. It was that bad. So we have let people in, but what God is going to do, he's speaking to me. We're going to focus on coming together September 24th. We'll be in South Delaware. Probably next week, I'll give you the actual location. For those that are coming, contact Marie Elizabeth Kenyon. Contact her through her messenger, or you can go through my webpage, www.rakentjuniorministries.org. Go through there, leave a message, say that you're interested so that we know. This is only for people who are serious. This is only for people. I'm only doing this because I'm doing it for people who are saying, that's why it's going to take you a drive to get there. Okay? It's going to take you a drive to get there. September 24th. We are not interested in numbers. We're not interested in a lot of people and a bunch of witchcraft. I'm not interested in that. I'm not breaking witchcraft out for people. This is for people who recognize, number one, I'm a part of a remnant. I'm a part of an elite system that God yet has, that is moving in the earth and that is getting ready for the dispensational period. I didn't say year, dispensational period of 2023, which is January. God is getting us ready September to December for January to move into revival by the spring. Everything, some things I'm not going to release. Let me say it to you privately. Come and meet me. Raymond, a lot of you, come and meet me privately. Come and meet me. You know how I do. This is a classified moment. Come and meet me privately. We're not doing a lot of stuff where the public can see it. These babies have to be birthed in private. Now, if we get over 40, 50 people, 100 people, that's wonderful. If you need to bring your children, we have space for them. There will be food that will be served. We'll have drinks, we'll have water, we'll have all those things. You do not have to leave the property unless you really want to go get your own lunch. You can do that, or you can bring your lunch, whatever the Lord has given you to do. Be there. Get yourself ready. I've been announcing this for weeks coming up. Hey, listen, we're doing this and that. And the only reason why I'm doing it this way is because we have a whole lot of watchers. We have a whole lot, and we know who you are. We already know who you are. You want watchers. You want information. No. Because this is going to make you right here. This is what makes you uncomfortable. I'm not a showman. I'm not a showman. I'm not a showman. I don't run circuses and clown shows. If you've known me over the years, you know I don't play games. So when I say this is a time of birthing, this is serious. I need people who are going to get ready, be ready when you come, so that when we speak into your life, the power of God will begin to resonate and make a difference, because this is the time. The pain that many of you have been in for so long is leaving your body now. It's leaving your mind now. This estranged warfare, this weird psychic battle, Lord help me, is leaving you now. I know people, they keep prophesying the same thing over and over. Those are not prophets. That's an exhortation. You're encouraging me retrospectively. In other words, based upon the promise of God, that God has said, he's going to bless me. He's going to make me wealthy. He's going to move me in. Yep, all of that's true. But there are things you need to do too. So when you come on the 24th, we're going to share with you the things that you need to do. We're going to have people on the property, on the premises, who can share with you what to do. But you have to have a hunger. I want people that have a hunger. I don't need 8,000 people following me. And then when it comes time to do something and support it and get behind it, we can't find you. We ain't interested in that. We've got a lot to do. We got a lot to prepare for as of yet. And school starts this Thursday. You can get in. If you miss 1 week, you might be able to make it in and make up. But after 2 weeks, we can't do that. We're not that kind of institution. You can miss the beginning week, but you cannot the second week and the third. Everything that we do is going to be consistent and excellent with God. When you receive your curriculum, as you know, it's always excellent. Everything that we do is excellent. We're not going to put on nothing and it's not prepared. So I want you to be encouraged today. We love you much. Continue to hold fast to what God has said. And the Lord said, be a blessing. Be a blessing today. The young ladies on here, they already have the transmissions, Facebook, Venmo. For those of you that want to be a blessing, sometimes people contact me later and they say, oh, I wanted to bless you with something. Okay, well, I'm saying it now. So it's PayPal, it's Venmo. Even all these transmissions now that they have, everybody wants extra money. So you got to know already what's going on. Just be a blessing. Be a blessing. Do what it is that the Lord has told you to do and fulfill it. This revival that's coming is something uncommon. It's unprecedented. It's not formality. This is not going to be a seminary revival that's coming, based and predicated upon words and contexts and expositional preaching and exegetical content and all of this school. School ain't going to do it. The school we get ready to go to, we're going to the school of the Spirit. And it is intellectual, and it is God's intellect, his logic. It is also his reasoning. It comes from him, but it's simplistic and it's common sense. So get ready for what God's getting ready to do. Make sure that you get your ride, whatever you got to do, get your ride. If you want to come down Friday and stay to Saturday, we'll talk about that. If you want to come down Saturday and stay till Sunday, we can talk about that. Whatever the Lord says, be blessed. This is the day that the Lord has made. Be glad in it. Bless you. Be blessed.